things. I appreciate you. This is episode 6 of our what do you call this thing? Podcast. This is episode 6 of our podcast. So really excited to be doing this and just having a good time here. So you can find this podcast on all sorts of platforms. So we are on Spreaker, we are on iTunes, SoundCloud, um, we are on Spotify, just all kinds of places like that. Just about any place you can find a podcast, you'll find us. And it's kind of cool to be on all these platforms. And it's really exciting. Mondays and Fridays is the Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos, and we definitely appreciate everyone. We're also simulcasting this show on our YouTube platform, and we look for you to see us on YouTube. Our channel is Black Dragon Biker TV, and we have on Black Dragon Biker TV, Black Dragon Biker News Network, biker news you can trust. So this is episode 6, and it's so good to see everyone. We've got folks out there. Listen, we do have a phone line too that you guys can call into. Just big things happening. I gotta find that. It's an 800 number. What is our 800 number? 800-731-4715. 800-731-4715. So we're just moving right along here. And I have a little bit of a cold. And I'm going to try real hard not to let that destroy the evening. So, we got so many people. Phoenix, Arizona. What's up? VFW Riders. We've got a new independent rider, new to the program. Jose, good to have you. Colonel Lewis, good to have you. Greetings from the grave. You're not quite in the grave yet, my friend. You probably have a little while to go. We have Aftermath MC in Savannah. And good morning, Dragon. Helene says good morning. Are we somewhere where there's morning? You're not that far away from us, are you? So Houston is in the house. Big work. Big work. President of the Black Sabbath Houston chapter. And it is so nice to see you. Big work. Always when my brothers are on board, it just feels good. Neat thing is I knew Big Work when he was just a prospect. I feel old now. Now he's a big president of our Houston chapter. So that's really cool. So in Atlanta tonight, we have the Public Relations Officers Convention, the PROC. And that's going on downtown Atlanta. That's a really big deal. There will be at least 10,000 people there. And they will be learning things about motorcycle clubs and how to do motorcycle club stuff. Great to see you, Black Dragon. Been watching your videos for a year. I think you're doing a great job. Thank you for your great information in your videos. A year. Wow. Thank you. Glad that you spoke up. And good to see you. Jacksonville, Florida. Good to see you guys. So tonight, I got to try to keep my throat wet so I can talk to this. Tonight, we're going to talk about something kind of interesting. In light of the things that we see happening across the nation with motorcycle clubs being charged as criminal enterprises and anti-gang charges being thrown in to these motorcycle clubs, being anti-gang charges being thrown at motorcycle clubs with Things like the fact that the Mongols MC Nation was actually charged and convicted of conspiracy to commit racketeering and racketeering. With these things happening, my question is, will new law kill the motorcycle club barroom brawl? Is the barroom brawl gone forever? And I wonder that. And you guys can call me at 800-731-4715. 800-731-4715. So, I'm just kind of wondering, where are we going with this? So a lot of people say if your motorcycle club is not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about. But man, there was a time where we could have a motorcycle club bar room brawl. You could go to a bar and beat it down. Everybody throwing punches at everybody having a good time. But now I have 3 or 4 cases that I've been following where this barroom brawl thing has turned into major charges. Absolutely incredible charges where people are facing 20 and 30 and 40 years. Because no longer is this a boys will be boys thing. It's no longer a boys club thing. This is a thing where people are being charged with aiding and abetting the benefit of a gang and going to prison. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Someone says, I'm just waiting for 3 of your books to turn up. I found you out looking for other things. Did you order 3 of my books? I appreciate that. I've been watching a long time. I think it's been gone at least around here. Never seen one, but it's only 1% around here. So I think it's kind of interesting. The idea that the things that are coming down on motorcycle clubs these days are kind of crazy. The things that are coming down on motorcycle clubs are really just kind of outrageous. And I think that motorcycle clubs are really going to have to clean up their act. Really going to have to go a separate direction, or we're going to find that in motorcycle clubs, the motorcycle club is going to go the way of the dodo. You know the dodo bird, the extinct dodo bird. I think we're going to find ourselves extinct. And I think you can see that. I think you can see that if you just look to Australia. They are truly trying to make motorcycle clubs extinct there. Somebody says, if you need some more info, hit me up. I've got some stuff that has happened to me with BS charges that I bet in 2017, 2018. Not too sure how all this works, but you can direct message me or give me a call. Well, Black Dragon at BlackSabbathMC.com. Send me your information and I will call you. So, we're seeing some crazy stuff out here. And I think that motorcycle clubs are going to have to mature. There's just no 2 ways about it. What is the number to call in live again? 800-731-4715. 800-731-4715. I should have that posted up or something. Wouldn't that be cool? Um, as I get better at this, I will like have things fly in 800-731-4715. See if I can, yeah, we're trying to figure things out as we go. What I need is one of those assistant people to throw flashcards up in my face. So we were following this one case out of Minnesota, and what sucks about that case is the well, what sucks for the people involved is that they went into a bar and they got into a fight with a guy over colors, and they got into the fight with the bartender. And you guys remember we've covered this case quite a bit, and this was a situation where a club by the name of Hell's Outcast up in Minnesota kind of got into it with a bartender, and this bartender, not bartender, bouncer, and they were upset because they were not allowed to wear their colors, or so the story goes. This is what the paper printed was. They were upset initially because they were not able to wear their colors inside this one bar. So at some point, they get into a fight. The bartender is attacked, as the story goes, and sucker punched. And, you know, it was a regular old barroom fight. And at the end of this, these guys are facing some enormous charges. And one has to wonder, is that what would have happened 5 years ago? Would this have happened 5 years ago? Would they have been facing these kind of charges 2 years ago? So does the fact that we are in a different time, in a different atmosphere, does that require different behavior? Does that mean that what we used to get away with and what we used to, I mean, how bad is it going to get when we get pulled over for speeding tickets? Is there going to be bigger charges? And what do motorcycle clubs have to do to protect themselves? What is our next line of defense? What are we going to have to do to make sure that when we get called out, when we get pulled over, when we get seen, that a normal kind of law doesn't become some big, huge thing, and anyone can get into a fight. You're not selling dope. you got into a fight. Two guys didn't see eye to eye. Things didn't go right. Something didn't take place well, and now you're at it. Beardsburg says, yes, everything changes and we have to evolve also, but at the same time keep our roots. Well, I think there has to be a definition of what our roots are. I think some of us think that our roots are being badasses. Go for bad is what they used to call it in my neck of the woods. 800-731-4715 is our number. 800-731-4715. if you're looking to call us. So, in my day, it was called Go for Bad. Oh, he's going for bad, and going for bad was a bad thing. It was a cool thing, but it could get you in a lot of trouble. Going for bad. And so, if we think our roots are about going for bad, then when we say we got to stick to our roots, I think that that's not a good thing. Looks like we got a call coming in here. Well, that is so terrible. That's my new phone system. I didn't know it was gonna do all that. Hello, you're on the air. Who is this? Merlin? How you doing, Merlin? You know something? I just realized that we have the same problem that we had last week. No, I don't think that. Let me do this. Talk to me, Merlin. Hello.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
You can't hear me on the video then, huh?
Yeah, we can hear you on the video.
Okay.
So, what do you think about this? I mean, what are your opinions? What do you think about what motorcycle clubs need to be doing moving forward? Are we I mean, am I over overly scared or something? Am I crazy here? Are we if you're not doing anything wrong, do you not have anything to worry about? Or is the motorcycle club barroom brawl gone forever?
Well, I honestly think the barroom brawl is gone forever, well, at least for now it is, because this thing with the Mongols, going for the patch, if, like I said before, if they get their patch and they lose it, that's an open season for the rest of any club. It don't matter if you're a Christian club. It don't matter what, because you can get a Christian club. You can have somebody in there selling something he's not supposed to, and there goes that whole Christian club. Same with the sober club.
So what you're saying is that's kind of an interesting thought. So one person selling in your club could get the whole club wiped away.
Ain't that the same basis for the Mongols? Those few 10 years ago who got caught and sent to prison already or whatever. Now they went for the whole club under the RICO Act.
Yeah, but the definition of a gang is three or more people working in concert. Could one person selling dope ruin it for the entire club?
I believe so, especially if they're wearing their colors when they do it. Because then the cops are going to look like, oh, hey, he's working for the gang. He's making money for the gang. So they must all be selling it. No matter what, even if you have somebody that's spotless who just joined the club, like the gentleman from the Hellraisers. He had no felonies or anything like that, but look at him now. So it doesn't matter. One person can screw it up for everything, for everybody. And and like I said, the cops threw a Hail Mary. They got through two, and they got to get that third one. If they catch that ball in the end zone there, it don't matter who it is, you're going to get screwed.
Well, you could, yeah. So DJ Fear says nowadays wearing a patch on your back, you're automatically in a gang and guilty of something. Well, I think that's been around for bikers for a long time, but the law didn't have the teeth to do what it can do today. I mean, we have to think about what this this decision that happened means. It's far ranging and wide reaching, and it means that things that they used to be mad at us about, because I've had chapters that for instance, I was talking about one of my chapters, the one I had in Wichita, where the police just decided, hey, we're not going to let you be in this neighborhood. We're not gonna let you be here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to start hassling you. And we're gonna people coming to your club and leaving, we're gonna check them for too much alcohol. And you sit outside somebody's clubhouse every weekend and you will get a person or two. And so much so that what will eventually wind up happening is people will stop coming to your clubhouse. They'll kill your business. They'll shut down your business. And that's something that they did to us. But now they have the extra piece of a very tough law to throw on to you. And this extra piece of this very tough law can really hurt your club, especially from especially from a club that really hasn't done anything wrong, but they've been targeted. Go ahead, Mo.
Well, you look at mom and pop clubs. They've been looked at by cops at the same way as a one percenter club. You know, I was with my first club I ever was with was a sober club out of Arizona.
Right.
Biggest one there, big 81 support club and everything else. And I remember us all riding on a run, watching the minivan passes up. Old guy sitting in the front seat, just driving along. But big in Arizona, it's sunny and things, so you can see through them tinted windows, shapes. And there's some guy back there with camera taking a picture of all of us as he passes. We're a sober club, a one piece patch, not a 3-piece, none of that stuff. And it's like, really? Even when I had the Social Outcast Brotherhood, which is this writing club I started before they patched the rest of us over to another club, even cops looked at us that way too. We didn't even have MC on there. We're just a dang writing club. So it don't matter if you got a patch on your back that says Wild Hogs, and you got 3 to 5, 6 of you. The cops are still gonna look at you like hey, you're a gang. You, like you said, 3 or more. So it ain't gonna damn well matter. What the clubs need to do is stop, for better words, as Mama Ro would say, my penis is bigger than your penis, swinging it in the yard, and somebody gets butt hurt, and let's go to war. Why? You're just shutting everything down for everybody else who's trying to do this because you want to be the bad tough guy. He wants to beat the tough guy, and then here goes all the crap going, and now you just brought attention to everybody in your area. The cops are going to look at. You could either have your cookies on, or your support cookies, support 81, support 22, support here, there, or whatever else. Well, they're going to expect you to, back them up. So it just destroys everything for everybody. If we all just figure out, get along, and work together to fight this, I believe it'd be better for us, but we all know that's never going to happen.
Well, I think it probably has no choice but to happen, or the clubs are going to go the way of the dodo. If the clubs don't stop the bickering and the fighting and the shooting each other and the killing and the blowing each other's clubhouses up, Spider-Man says, yes, the days of the barroom beatdown are gone. The optics and the propaganda will only be used as a stepping stone for more laws and fines. Um, and I think Spider-Man's right. I think if the clubs don't get this together, if the clubs don't realize the optics are changing, and it used to be just Hollywood was against us. It used to be just the media was against clubs. And now they have these biting laws with these big teeth in them. They actually took a version of civil asset forfeiture law. And they took this version of civil asset forfeiture law and they used it against the Mongols. And so now that they have got their case won, the next portion is to move to the civil asset forfeiture, where they're going to take the club's assets, the main asset being the club's colors. But they can go for and they have said they want the bank accounts, they want the profits derived from the criminal organization. That means they want dues, bank accounts, they might take motorcycles, and on and on and on. Anything with that logo could possibly be on the chopping block. So this is terrifying. If you're a motorcycle club and you see that, you see that, you have to say, well, what can happen to me, especially if I'm involved in dumb stuff. If we're doing dumb stuff, um, they ain't. I often say that they ain't just a whistling Dixie out here anymore. They're serious as heart attacks. They are ready to be done with the last bastion of American freedom, and that's the biker.
Well,
Eight
yeah. Well,
hundreds.
if you think about it, they went after one of the toughest clubs in the United States, the Mongols. And if they could take the Mongols out, and the bad thing is the Mongols, whoever in that club that pays their taxes through their work, they're paying for their own prosecution, which I think is ironic. But if they take out a major player, then that shows you, hey, we have the resources, we have the unlimited power, that we'll take what we want because we just proved to you that we can do it. And it's just the biker life is going to change. I mean, like Texas is already starting to be like Australia when it comes to bikers. I mean, what is it? A few months ago, I read somewhere that if you are a bandito patch holder, you can no longer carry a gun, even if you have no felonies. You know, and then at the stockyards, the Vagos were getting harassed by the cops. They didn't do anything except for being there. One prospect that got arrested for carrying a gun. The Mongols there were harassed. You know, it's like it's not Texas anymore; it's Texas, Australia, and it just seems it's becoming the next California, really, when it comes to bikers.
800-731-4715. 800-731-4715 for anybody that wants to call in. And you're on right now with Black Dragon and Merlin. And we're talking about is the motorcycle club barroom brawl gone for good? And we want you guys to know that you can get this podcast. And man, I'm so mad because I'm trying so hard not to cough. And there it is. So
No,
we want you to know that you can get
I'm
this
just reading on the
motorcycle.
com.
You can get this motorcycle podcast on Stitcher, um, Spotify, um, uh, iTunes, Spreaker, and SoundCloud, and soon to be on iHeartRadio. And it comes on Monday and Friday. And also, we do have an appearance on Saturdays after the Motorcycle Madhouse uh, on Hollywood, Insane Throttle's station. And Insane Throttle is on iHeartRadio. And also, you can get the on this YouTube channel, Black Dragon Biker TV and Black Dragon Biker News Network. And we are adding a new segment called Biker Prepper. We're going to be talking about how to be a prepper on a motorcycle, kind of cool. So we got a few things coming for you. And of course, Ask Black Dragon, where I talk about MC protocol and things like that. We have a guy named Colonel Lewis said, we here in New Zealand have a law that allows the police to take the property of the person that has broken the law by selling drugs. And we too have that law here in America. It's called RICO, and it's also called civil asset forfeiture. And civil asset forfeiture laws are designed to go after civilly your products or benefits that you receive from illegal or ill-gotten gains. And a portion of that law has been used now against the Mongols Nation to take away their patches and things like that. So this is what's going on, and it's kind of crazy. Spider-Man says, if, and I mean if, they get their colors and they take down the whole club scene, who fills the void? Because there will be a power vacuum. And there always is a power vacuum. No matter what, there's always a power vacuum, and someone always fills the void. And we'll see what that is. It's 1852 Saturday night in New Zealand. Wow, it's a whole day ahead there. You're in tomorrow, New Zealand. It's tomorrow for us. It's only, what is it? 12:55 a.m. Wow, is it really 12:55 a.m.? 12:55 a.m. in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have a whole day before it's that time where you are. Gosh, you guys get Christmas before us and everything. Maybe you can call back and let us know what to be aware of tomorrow. And is that cool? So, the barroom brawl can mean anything. It can mean anything that you as a club do that's stupid, that's illegal, or that brings scrutiny upon you. For us, in one of our chapters, it was just parking the motorcycles on the sidewalk in front of the club. The police came down on that, looking for something to get us out of the neighborhood with. So they came on and started writing a gang of tickets, just because they were mad about, or just because they decided that we needed to leave the neighborhood. And not because we did anything wrong, but because we were a motorcycle club. Just being a motorcycle club, we were a motorcycle club. And so being a motorcycle club, you have to be bad. You're all bad if you're a motorcycle club. And so we got to get rid of this eyesore out of our neighborhood. Now, imagine if we're having some poor guy pull up in front of the clubhouse, park his motorcycle in front of the clubhouse or his car, his delivery car. There's a story where the Hells Angels um, beat up some poor guy in front of their clubhouse who parked there delivering some food. And he got beat up by a couple of guys. The news story says uh, have we actually ran that news story on Black Dragon Biker News. And the problem is the press from that is just absolutely hard. It's terrible to fight that kind of press. The public relations to that, it's a nightmare. And now, if two or three guys pummeled that guy, now they come running in, and they've got aiding and benefiting the benefit of a gang, and that adds 10 to 15 years to any charge you have. So,
Well, heck, as it is now, we ran those stories too about what is it, the Bandito? I think one was the Bandito on one story, Mongol on another, and a couple HA, something like that, down in Australia. That they, two of them came to the airport and they were escorted right back onto a plane out of the country just because they had a patch. Members of 1% clubs. And another one, they hunted down to where he was staying at, and they right then and there took him right to the airport. Said, "See you later." You know, so it wouldn't surprise me if these small towns or whatever else say, you can, just like the old Wild West, you can't wear your guns to town. You can't wear your colors to town. I know a lot of places, especially in Yuma, a lot of places won't let you wear colors inside the bar anymore. You know, so it's like, about the only time they'll allow them is when the prison run comes to town. But other than that, they don't want your colors in there.
Now, Tommy Gunn says, or you can just stop putting your hands on people and you don't have to worry about it. Well, yeah. Yeah. You can't argue with that, Tommy Guns. In New Zealand, the police will pull people over if they see you wearing your colors. Had a Hells Angels hurt a doorman and got 5 years for assault. 5 years.
Dolores says, just remember, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. San Antonio Sheriff's Department just had 18 deputies.
Yeah, but
arrested.
that, you know what?
They were,
you know something? You know something? That doesn't mean anything. That's never gonna mean anything. That it's never good for the goose, good for the gander. Look at the cops, they're doing that doesn't mean anything. That's not where the power base is with them. The power base is not with, oh, look, they did that. The cops are not going to go arrest themselves for the most part. Now, we did run a story where a police officer did manage to get 5 days in jail and fired. So it can happen. But what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. That's not what happens in this country. So that's not even something to bring up. It's a non-bring upper. Doesn't mean anything. We have to talk about what motorcycle clubs have to do to protect themselves. This is not the Black Dragon Cop TV. And I'm not telling them to police themselves. I'm not a cop. I don't have any way to talk. I got to talk to us, we bikers, we motorcycle club guys. What do we have to do to ensure the long-term survival of our bike clubs? Because they are in question. It's in jeopardy.
just keep their hands off each other and quit shooting each other and quit backstabbing each other. I mean, if you over the years of how many people have stabbed you in the back, how many people stabbed me in the back? Oh shit! I'm sorry. I apologize for that slip. But just imagine how many knife handles you'd have sticking out of your back because of it. Now, if they all quit doing that and respect each other, yes, I know that respect is a big word in this culture, but if they actually respect each other instead of beating each other up because I want your territory, no, this is my territory. It's everybody's territory, everybody's land.
Well,
you know,
there's going to have to
really have the property you own.
There's going to have to be some rethinking, or clubs are going to go the way of the dodo bird. We're going to be dinosaurs, non-existent. There's going to have to be some rethinking. These folks are serious. Tommy Gunn says cops get put in jail for doing all kinds of stuff all the time. It doesn't have anything to do with bikers doing dumb stuff and bringing bad attention. Absolutely. MCs need to act grown, says DJ Fears. Act like men, teach the young ones, and stop doing childish things or acting like gangs for 3 guys to beat up 1 dude. And you know something? These guys are old. The average biker in America is 50 years old. When I see these news reports, these be old dudes. These be old dudes, 55, slapping somebody around. 3 55-year-old cats tackle somebody and beat them up. Like, really? I think I still got it at 55. I feel like I still got it, but I don't feel like I got it enough to be swinging on some young guys. So
no,
I think maybe us older guys, we're not wanting to give it up. We want to have it for a while longer than maybe we should.
Or you get the young kids coming in. They want to get rid of the old guys. And they don't realize we're old. We're old for a reason. You know, where you should be coming to us to learn about your club, learn what you should do correctly, and be correct. You know, not get in there and become, which happens to a lot of these new cats. They become patch heavy, thinking they're all that. Until, what is it here, about 3 years ago, Sergeant of Arms for the Banditos was in El Paso. He started throwing his weight around, and the 99%er knocked his ass out.
Yeah, but
you know, and it's like,
but the question
why?
is,
Why?
The question is, you know, all of that kind of stuff. We have to get back to the reality. What are bike clubs going to do to protect themselves? And I don't care. You don't have to respect me. I don't care about that. My reaction to what I find, it comes down to me. It's more about what I'm going to do to protect the motorcycle club community. I'm not going to ask anybody to respect me. People respect you, they don't. I'm not going to ask anybody. I'm not asking of you. I'm demanding of me. When I say what do motorcycle clubs have to do, each person has to take within themselves pride and ownership of the motorcycle club world. Each person has to take pride and ownership of their position in the motorcycle club world. And each person has to say, I love the motorcycle club world so much that I'm not going to destroy it. I'm not going to do things. I'm going to police me. Me, myself, and I. When my brothers come running up with this this stuff, when my brothers come with these crazy ideas, when they want to swing on somebody or something like that, I will step in between them and say, no, brother, no, that's not going to work. That doesn't help us. That's really going to crush us. You have to start by being the beacon, the beacon that you want others to be. You have to start by being the light. You have to start by being the example.
Exactly.
Somebody says everybody has a camera. No way to hide. If you're an MC, you will be seen. If you want to bar fight and be patched up, you will see your patches on the news. Somebody else says, I want to thank you because I wish you guys would forgive me. This is really crazy. I'm taking as many throat lozenges and stuff, and I can't kick this damn dry cough. I want to thank you because where you live at the Black Sabbath MC Clubhouse, and you're with your guys, you can feel the love and have in the club watching even on your YouTube live. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you spent some time in the clubhouse. That is really cool. Somebody says, if it looks like a duck, acts like a duck, sounds like a duck, then it's a duck. So act like a thug, look like a thug. Don't be surprised when you're called and treated like a thug. 800-731-4715, 800-731-4715, 800-731-4715 if you want to chat. This is new for us, this whole phone thing, so it's kind of cool.
But you're right, you gotta work on yourself before you can help everybody else. But then again, also in a club, when they say I am my brother's keeper, you gotta keep them in check in the same way, trying to keep them out of trouble.
All the way.
I mean, you can only work on you and your own MC. You can't really work on any other MC that you're not a part of. You know, I mean, you can call them out on their crap, you know, by having your P call their P or Sergeant of Arms, vice versa, whatever, and have a sit down and try to figure out what to go from there. But just going out there and punching someone in the mouth,
it's crazy.
It's just not the way to go.
Right. Right. It's crazy. Let's see. What's up, David Morrison? Good to see you. No matter where you will go, you will have profiling. Yes. That's part of being a biker. Black Dragon, want to thank you. I have watched every one of your videos concerning the biker community, growing up in something I believe I knew more than most, but thanks for opening my eyes with your help. So, wow, I've done almost 500 videos. You've seen almost 500 videos. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching an old man rant.
Mama Rose says, no matter where you go, you will have profiling.
Yep. She did. And that's part of the biker experience. That's part of being a biker. That's part of what we do. So, it's my belief that we've got real problems. Oh, well, we got someone calling in. Let's see what happens here. Hold on.
You have an incoming call. Press 1 to accept this.
Well, that is so profane. Hello?
Hi, how you doing? This is Tommy Guns.
Hey, what's up, Tommy Guns?
Hey, I just wanted to, chime in a little bit. I enjoy the channel. I watch a lot of your videos. A really big theme of you saying, what can we do as the biker community to change these looks and all of these things. But the reality is, a lot of these guys, they come into these organizations and they're cowards. And they want to play Billy Badass, excuse my language, when they're around their club buddies, but when they're by themselves, they're cowards. So if we can get these biker clubs to stop letting in cowards who just want to feel like they're a part of something and be the bad guy, the big bad wolf on the playground, then maybe things will start to change, and maybe we would have people who actually cared enough to do the right thing in most times.
So, Tommy Guns, when you talk about cowards, that's interesting. Some guys do live vicariously through their colors, and they get real tough when they put their colors on. But isn't it the motorcycle clubs that don't police their prospecting standards or probationary standards? They let these guys in. They see these guys acting the way they act. Um, they know these guys ain't worth a darn when they prospect them in. Clubs are so 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 hungry to grow so fast. They want to be so big now.
And a lot of the problem is even the generation that came before them were the same way. So at what point do you break the cycle of that being the case?
I didn't hear your question. Ask that again.
I said it was the same thing with generations before them. It's no different from the fraternities. When we looked at the fraternities when we were in college, you always had that guy who wanted to be a Q, and it was always the tough guy that was the Q before him, and he wanted to be the tough guy just like him. But at what point do you break the cycle of the guy that came before you trying to be the tough guy? It's really my generation. I'm a generation behind you. So it's right now. I'm 32. So for me, I'm in that generation where my generation has to be the new change, and because we're coming into leadership now, so we have to be the change to say we're not going to put up with the thing that the 50-year-old guys did before.
Yeah. But you draw the comparison of the the fraternity, and the difference now is that there was no legal precedent by which to take the fraternity down or the bad actors down. And what motorcycle clubs have just run into with what has happened with the Mongols is now a legal precedent, so that if they can get that classification on you, they can shut down your entire motorcycle club. One of the readers, one of the viewers here said, what did he say? He said, it's not just the one percenters. In his area, oh my goodness, I can't find that. That was just right up here. But basically, he was saying that it's not just the one percenters, and I absolutely have to agree that it's not just the one percenters. I just did a video the other day. Actually, it was a podcast when 99 percenters act like one percenters, or basically when they act like they think one percenters are acting. It's absolutely crazy, and it also brings our community down. What do you think about that, Tommy?
I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, I see it happen both ways. Because I see a lot of the guys that are so-called one percenters who are some of the coolest guys on the planet, never have a problem, never do anything crazy. Because I live in Bandito country. I'm in Texas. So widespread banditos, and I really don't have any problems with any banditos in my area. But I have a lot of problems when I'm just out riding my bike with the, I guess you would say, the 99% of clubs that, roll up on my bike and ask me who I ride with and why I shouldn't be riding this way and that way, and I shouldn't have cut in this way and that way. And, I've had a couple of almost fights behind that, So I don't understand.
Would be police. Would be set police wanting to. Yeah, we see them all the time. Would be set police. Here, I just found this. I just found
a guy who actually tried to start a fight with me at a gas station because he didn't like the colors on my bike. The way that because I have lights on my bike, and he didn't like the way I did the colors on my bike because it was too similar to their motorcycle club colors.
And this was a 99%er.
Yes.
You got colors that look too close to mine on your motorcycle. It's not on your patch. That's MC protocol. What's on your patch? But no, it's your motorcycle itself. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna get myself killed at the gas pump.
Yeah, we had that same problem. You know, with two MCs there. But I got a question for you too, Guns. Have you noticed anything in Texas with we'll say the new generation coming in? Did you see the influx over there in Texas when this?
No, not really. I try not to involve myself with the set as much as I used to when I first started riding 4 or 5 years ago. So I kind of stay to myself now because it became a little bit too much drama for me. Just trying to go, hang out at the different parties and things like that. It just became a little bit too much. So I don't really get to see them as much as I used to. So I don't really have the experience to answer that question right now.
So we found this.
To get myself back into the scene.
So we found this comment. Now it's more than just 1%ers that law enforcement messes with. Where I live in Iowa, you see other MCs with their colors on, and they do get messed with up here. Comes with the territory, though, I guess. Yes, and that's I kind of laugh. When people say, "Oh, if you're not a 1%er, you don't have any problems." Man, please.
Well, I'll tell you this because I work for law enforcement now, so I can tell you this: they don't care if your vest has a 1% diamond on it or if it doesn't have any diamond whatsoever. All they see is a patch. They don't know the difference, and they don't really care to know the difference. I could draw the parallel of if you have gang members with rags on and you don't happen to be a gang member, why would you put a rag on? So if you have Crips and Bloods, Crips and Bloods have their rags, and you come out with a purple rag, and this purple rag just happens to correspond with a gang 500 miles away, well, it's in the database. They just know it looks like gang paraphernalia, so they're going to target you just the same. That's not to say that they're going to actually do something to you or that you're going to jail necessarily, but they're going to check.
It's that's a good parallel to draw. Lee L says attitude reflects leadership. You need to be a man with or without a cut, and standards should be outlined in the club's bylaws and the type of character of the man. Amen.
So, I'm gonna hang up now. I enjoyed your show. It was great talking to you. I'm gonna hang up now and I'm gonna just watch.
Thanks for calling in, Tommy Guns. We certainly do appreciate you. 800-731-4715. 800-731-4715 for anybody that wants to call in. And Tommy Guns was our first official caller, which is so cool. Our first official caller of my podcast show was Tommy Guns. Yay. Let's see, there was this thing where I could get some applause, but I can't find that button. I have to get my applause button and stuff together. Good evening from 2CJ, President of Clean Riders, RC. Glad to have you guys on. Not just being a biker. These days, everybody gets profiled all the time. The internet and social media has made everybody an authority on everybody else with a few keystrokes. Spider-Man says they think their numbers will save them from the inevitable. In New Zealand, we have gangs trying to be MCs, and they go 5-on-1. HA here in New Zealand have taken years to join them. No, I just watched a video on New Zealand. I think I said that in my last video. I just watched a video on New Zealand, and it was very interesting. The gang culture over there. It's just fascinating. And then they wear paraphernalia that looks just like a biker gang or a biker club or whatever you want to call it. They wear this kind of paraphernalia. It's crazy. But it's just interesting. It's interesting how they help the community and all this kind of stuff. I hate how there's no traditional MCs around me except 1% clubs and cop clubs. I've been writing for 10 years and never tried joining because of 1% clubs and their little brother clubs. I bet if you look around, you'll probably find a traditional mom and pop club. You just have to go to some events. I know they got to be around there. Michael says first slot of these clubs or organizations were based on a brotherhood and freedom. Yes, they were. Knucklehead, I'm glad you brought that up because I get tired of my people, 1%ers, being blamed for all of the nonsense that happens. Knucklehead, there ain't no way in heck your people are responsible for all the nonsense. Being on the 99% side of the crew, and I see enough knuckleheads over here, enough crazy ass folks over here, man. And every time any biker interacts negatively with the public, all bikers look bad. Along the way, it's lost its true meaning and fellowship. I think many clubs have lost their true meaning and fellowship. CJ Sheffield says, no matter how or what we ride, we all have a responsibility to act like we give a damn about the rest of those around us. Kind of like what you learn in the sandbox in kindergarten when you're 5 years old. Kind of like what you learn there. I feel you're speaking of the character of the man, the club that lets poor characters in are bound to destroy themselves. Policing themselves is a standard. It's supposed to be about brotherhood, period. It's supposed to be. But many times it isn't. It's about who your friend is, or he joins, so I'm joining, or it's about politics, or it's about money, or it's about women or booty. It becomes a lot more than about the brotherhood. That's why we're in where we are in the case in having the problems that we have. It's tough. But I tell you what, the motorcycle club barroom brawl is over. They're handing out big time for that. My dad was part of one down there. They had a clubhouse in Daytona Beach, says Beyond Lockdown. Beyond Lockdown. That's an interesting name. Michael Florence. And how many millennials today actually understand or know the definition of brotherhood or a bond? I would say I would say not many. Someone says 800 numbers don't do me any good here. Where are you? That the 800 number isn't working for you. We'll get you another number. Morning Black Dragon from sunny South Africa. Going to have a ride after watching you. Jared, what's the temperature in South Africa? I understand it actually gets cold there. Like it has, like we never think of Africa as having a winter. We always thinking of, Tarzan or somebody walking around naked. But someone told me Africa actually has like a winter and it gets like cold as hell in South Africa. So is it winter there? What's your temperature? And howdy to South Africa. Thanks for tuning in. That's really, really cool to have someone in New Zealand and South Africa and stuff like that, a million miles away, talking to them live. That is just so cool. And it's morning there. So you're a day ahead of us too. And you're in tomorrow for me. So what's it like in the future? What's it like in the future? I'm just curious to know. There are high schools where certain sports teams gear is not allowed, even certain numbers on jerseys. Didn't know that. Yes, there is accountability, but everybody's life, but it's in everyday life. You find bad people. Good morning, Black Dragon. Moondog must be somewhere else in the world too, or maybe he means good morning as in it's past 12 a.m. Jared Lee says, summer in South Africa, I'm jealous. Hoping you get over that cold soon from IOFFIO in New Mexico. Good to talk to you. Glad to have you on. IOFFIO. Let's see. I think now too many people watch Sons of Anarchy and now think they are badasses. The SOA syndrome, someone called it. And yeah, that was a good show, but how many law enforcement people do you get to kill in an episode? Like, once you've killed 5 or 6 federal agents, I think they find you. But maybe not. 1%ers are everywhere. There's an amount of respect, says Lee L, to them, but it's about bonding in a true brotherhood. The point most old and new clubs are missing out on. Sad thanks, Black Dragon, for educating others. Yes, it is sad that folks are. I think millennials have a problem, but is that problem in our leadership of them, or the problem in them not wanting to hear us? I don't know. Snake Charmer is in Serbia. Holy moly, Serbia. How do we get people in Serbia on the line? That's crazy. Spider-Man, if we use foresight, where is this going and what does it look like in the end? If we use foresight, if we start to plan this out, if we start to think about what the hell it is that we're doing, if we start thinking in a public relations type of mindset, we will act to police ourselves before the government comes in and polices us. You have to look at Australia. You have to look at the kinds of laws that are going on in places like New Zealand. They're not messing around over there. There are certain jobs you cannot have. You're a bikie? Fine. You don't get to own a tattoo shop. You don't get to work in the tattoo industry. You don't get to be a auto repair mechanic. You don't get to. They got a whole list of things you can't be. It's crazy. They affect your ability to make a living. That could come to a city in America near you. Merlin was talking about they have some, and I read it. They have something where banditos can't carry a weapon, even if they have a legal permit to carry a gun in Texas. A jury said that. So here's a case where they're taking away the Second Amendment right of our Constitution. They're taking that away from a group of people just for associating with a group of people. These are laws that are coming to a place in America near you. We as motorcycle clubs, we better get it together, man. We better get this thing figured out. Or we're going to be extinct. We're going to be in a historical time capsule somewhere with our vests and bikes and all that there. If we use foresight, Spider-Man, we can head off a negative ending. If we don't use foresight, we will see people coming after us in two places. There's two places that civilians can get you. It's two places where civilians can show you how afraid of you they are. Two places where civilians can react to what they've been seeing on TV and in Hollywood. Two places. In the ballot box and in the jury box. Those two places. DJ Fear says, all this starts at the top and new members get their attitudes from the top. The prez needs to act right and the sergeant at arms needs to regulate when members get out of hand. And we need to educate and train our people. Bottom line, clubs and organizations are now going to have to change how they operate and their image and be proactive in their approach and educate to the public, if not the stereotype that the Department of Justice puts out. 7:28 on Saturday morning in Serbia, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh. Serbia sounding a little bit like Siberia right about now. Somebody, Jared says, in winter we run between 5 and 15 degrees centigrade. Summer, which we are in night now, we are hitting highs of between 25 and 40 degrees. I'm looking forward to your patch over video. Yes, I will have that patch over video probably out tomorrow for you in my Ask Black Dragon segment. I'm trying to drink water and suck on throat lozenges, so please forgive me and drink a little orange juice. It's just a little heavier, kind of soothes my throat a little. But orange juice and throat lozenges are not good. Not a good mixture. Great man. Great vid, man. Big ups to you from Tucson. Thank you. Thank you very much. Few to none know what the meaning of brotherhood is. The clubs have lost their purpose and have fell on times where their leaders and attitudes are have infected the club. And I definitely agree with you on that. That so many leaders now are so happy with the I Love Me patch that says leader on it. And the patch that says Black Sabbath on, the patch that your back patch, for some reason, it's not as prevalent in their acting. They think for the moment, they think for the time, they think for the me. How do I look? How great am I? How much power do I have? What a great leader. And they don't think of the long term of the club. Has your motorcycle club president presented a 5-year plan to your MC, a 5-year plan of growth or anything like that? Probably not. 800-731-4715, 800-731-4715. And if you're in Serbia, the 800 number is not going to work for you. So on my next show, I will know how to tell you guys how to call me internationally. The country code and that sort of thing. Matter of fact, so if you know the country code to America, which I think is 01 maybe, you can actually call me on this number. Let me try this for people that are out of the country. Yeah. So 404-692-0336. 404-692-0336. That's the local number, and you have to do your thing if you want to call me from out of the country. Certain actions need to come with consequences. Yes, it almost makes you think, who are we without the cut? Wow. Who are we without the cut? Deep. I have so many people tell me, I make the cut doesn't make me. I don't need the cut to be a man. I was a man. Look here, man. I almost want to say my cut made me. I almost want to say my cut, man. I was nobody until I put that cut on. I'm just talking about me here. That cut made me as big as Rin Tin Tin, and I'm just talking about the prospect cut. I'm not even talking about the big boy full patch. The prospect cut made me feel huge. Huge. Large and in charge, baby. It dawned on me as I was riding down the road one day on my Suzuki GSXR 1100. It dawned on me, man, all these people looking at your patch, and most of them don't even know what the damn thing is. But it didn't matter, alas! I was great! Had my patch on. I wanted that patch so bad. I worked so hard for it. So those people who say the patch didn't make me, look, my patch made me, man. It made me feel great. It made me feel like Rin Tin Tin. Serbia now after 10 years in Portugal, and started out as a youngster on a family farm in South Texas. That must be Snake Charmer telling us a little bit about him. You can't carry a gun if you're in a gang. It's illegal to do so by way of felony 2 in Texas, 5 to 10 years in prison. So, Tommy Guns, who's in law enforcement, says that in Texas, if you are considered to be in a gang, it is illegal for you to carry a gun, even if you have a gun permit. You're in a gang, so you don't get to carry a gun. And he says you can get 5 to 10 years in prison for that. 5 to 10 years. Holy moly. None of that is true in New Zealand. The only jobs you have problems is if you want to do a job in security. New Zealand doesn't have those problems with that Australia has with not having certain jobs if you are in a motorcycle club. Good to know. So I'm trying to catch up with all my comments. Well, there's been lots of them. I'm glad to have you guys all as a part of this. And some of you guys call me. I'm lonely. 800-731-4715. What happened to Merlin? Did you go away, Merlin? I didn't delete you, did I? This is not my fault. I think maybe Merlin hung up on us. I don't hear him anymore, so I guess he's gone. 800-731-4715. 800-731-4715. If you want to call me and hang out. Put the regular number on again. So the regular number is, let's see. And you guys, I promise to have my stuff more together as I do this a little bit more. 404-692-0336. 404-692-0336 is our number locally here. And 800-731-4715. 404-692-0336. My grandmother used to warm it on a wood-burning cook stove or put up the pot-belly stove in the living room. Good memories. That sounds cool. Knucklehead said, my patch didn't make me, but I will say this. When I was riding around with my pee on my back, it made me feel good to be a part of the greatness, even before I became a full patch. Yes, sir. That's how I felt. I just, I felt so good. Final comment. With age comes wisdom, so we all have become smarter, I hope. But with age and wisdom comes enlightenment for oneself, but also enlightening your brothers to ensure the growth of the club, to ensure the growth of the club. Message retracted. Oh, we got somebody calling in. Oh, that's
Incoming call. Press 1 to accept it. Connecting.
Okay, so we have
Sorry, boss. I guess I lost signal.
you got to turn down your sound. You got to turn down your sound. You're echoing. You're not
turned down.
You're not getting out, good buddy. So Merlin is a truck driver. Breaker 19, good buddy. Oh, you guys don't say good buddy anymore. Breaker 19. How's it going northbound? You got a southbounder looking, talking at you.
Unfortunately, they don't get used anymore out here.
Good numbers to you. You guys don't use CBs anymore? What the hell? I can't imagine.
It's the new millennial truckers, like the new millennial bikers.
Beyond Lockdown says, I'm a trucker also. I do heavy haul. 80,000 pounds and better, I guess. Out of Arizona.
Yeah,
there.
heavy haul is heavier than 80,000. I go as far as 80,000 on my flatbed.
Yeah. My RV is 26,000 pounds. That's the most I've had the pleasure of driving.
Oh yeah, try to get 700 miles in a day.
So that's a big driver now. That's not messing around. 700 miles a day. You ain't just a whistling Dixie out here.
I know if these wheels ain't turning, I ain't making the donuts for Mama Ro, and Mama Ro gets mad I don't make her donuts out here.
Yep, I do the big stuff. I have a 55-ton RGN. What's an RGN? What's an RGN, Merlin? He's got a 55-ton.
I believe it's one of those trailers that have like 4 or 5 different pieces to it. So they haul the really, really, really big stuff, like the giant front end loaders or the dump trucks for the mines and stuff like that around.
Oh, that's the big money. What they pay those guys $25 a mile or something? So
something like that. You got pilot cars and everything leading the way. Those
are the guys that hauled the space thing, the space jet. What's that? What's that thing called? The shuttle. Those are the guys that hauled the shuttle. Those kind of guys. So let's see. Didn't join the club until I turned 50. After retiring from the Army, the club gave me a new perspective on this new life. Would not change the new brotherhood for anything in the world. So that being the case, Kodak, we got to figure out how to keep it moving. Carl Lewis says, I'm a taxi driver working at night. Well, I hope you download the podcast, my friend. And I know you guys are all watching me on YouTube, but the podcast is for that, for you to ride around and listen to me. Removable gooseneck is what Beyond Lockdown has. That's what an RGN is, a removable gooseneck. RGN, removable gooseneck. Who didn't know that?
I've never hauled it, but I figured it was one of those trailers that have like 4 or 5 different sections to the thing.
John Kretnick says, trashy truck driver here too. Local in North Georgia and home every day. I used to haul heavy and oversized when I was a long hauler. Well, we just truck driver heavy here. Can truckers join a motorcycle club? That's my next that should be my next podcast. Are truckers any good in a motorcycle club? Especially you long haul cats.
Okay, I'll add to that part. Try this one. Can a long haul trucker be the president of a chapter?
Well,
I want your personal views on that one.
Well, we have a long haul trucker as the national president of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation right now, so they can do it. It can be done. I believe it can be done. So it just
so do I,
now I don't know if a long haul trucker could be a local president. It's easier to be a national president because you're just really an administrator. But a local president might have to be there more. Beyond Lockdown says my dad was a VP of a motorcycle club and he was a long haul trucker, so it can be done. Speaking of leadership, where there is no competent leadership, chaos will prevail. A Called said that. So yeah, we got these.
I guess it all depends on how strong of a VP you have.
Yeah. Yeah. And how strong of a club you have. And how much they need for you to be there holding their hands and, that sort of thing. Anyway, we've been at this for an hour and a half. And there's a few things I want to tell you. This is the Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos. This is the podcast. The podcast can be found on Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, and other places where podcasts are broadcast. I'm on SoundCloud and I'm on iTunes. I don't know if that means I'm on the iCloud. I think it does. And I will be on iHeartRadio in about a week or so. there are a few ways to help this channel. If you want to help this channel, you can donate hitting the super chat button, or you can consider becoming one of our Patreon members. Now, the super chat button, you hit that button and we get a few bucks, whatever you want to give us. Patreon is a monthly donation. We're looking for $2 or $5 for you for a month, each month. That helps us out, helps the channel. You can also donate by sending a donation to us via Cash App. All the young folks use Cash App. My Cash App is Biker Prez, pound Biker Prez. You can send us a donation that way. We appreciate that. Also, you can purchase my books, Black Dragon's books, Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs, the Sergeant at Arms Bible, and the Public Relations Officer's Bible, all available on Kindle and available in paperback at Amazon. And our YouTube channel is Black Dragon Biker TV. And at Black Dragon Biker TV, we have the Black Dragon Biker News Network, and soon to be Black Dragon Biker Prepper. And we
Call from
Snake.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
So we have Snake.
We do.
Snake from
We are.
Snake from Serbia?
That's correct.
Holy moly. Wait a minute, you don't have no Serbia accent.
No, I barely have a South Texas accent anymore. I've moved around so much.
How are you? You're an American.
I am.
Good to have you on the show. Wow. So what do you do over in Serbia?
I retired. I ride my scooter around.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's the cliff notes. At about 57, I took a job in Portugal. I moved over there, worked for 6 years, and then I retired. I lived another 4 years there, and about 2 years ago, I woke up one morning and said, I've ridden the scooter all over the Iberian Peninsula in this part of Europe, and I don't know anything about Eastern Europe, Serbia, Yugoslavia, or the Balkans. I think I'll move to Serbia.
So you were ex-military, right?
I was military, but I'm not retired, no. I spent 7 years back in the 70s.
Yeah, that's that military mindset. I can go anywhere, do anything. So the Balkans had to be like a whole new experience. Like they don't like the food and everything. I mean, a little tougher climate, a more rugged people.
Well, it's not tougher climate. It's just different. You know, I spent 10 years in West Africa, and that was pretty different too.
Whereabouts in West Africa?
I was 7 years up country in a town called Odini in the Ivory Coast, and I flew all over working with the World Health Organization, and then I spent 3 years in Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh, Lagos is a beautiful place. I spent a lot of time in Lagos myself.
Lagos sucks.
I had a great time.
I hated it.
I had a great time in Lagos. I mean, that's a jumping city.
hated it.
Lagos is a
Go ahead.
Lagos is a pretty jumping city. I mean, it was the big city when I was there. It was they considered it the New York of Nigeria.
I guess I didn't care for it much. I liked Ivory Coast a lot more.
Ivory Coast is different. I lived in Port Harcourt, which was in River State when I was there. But
In Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt, yes.
Yeah, that's on the Delta.
Yes. Yes, I lived with.
I used to fly in and out of there a lot.
So you were with who? That's interesting. Dude, you've done it. So how long are you going to be in that area? How long are you going to be doing that thing?
Till I die.
Okay.
Man, I'm 68 years old.
That doesn't mean like you're not like limited. I mean, you could be 80, 85, 90, you got a while to go.
Well, I've already got it figured. As soon as I see my scooter's got about 125,000 miles on her now. And as soon as I get too old to throw my leg over the scooter, I've already decided I'm going to buy an old 1950s vintage Citroen du Cheval. And
Yes.
I'll start riding around in it.
The old Citroen. Do they still make those?
No, they stopped making them about the mid-'80s.
That was a wonderful,
They
wonderful
made them
car.
from about 48, I think, until about 84.
So are you in a motorcycle club over there?
There's a lot of them. I don't belong. I'm kind of a lone rider. I pick up with friends and ride sometimes, but I do most of my long distance riding alone. There's not many people over here that ride the kind of distances I do.
Right. What
So
kind of?
you're a yonder rider.
A what?
A yonder rider.
What's a yonder rider?
Yonder.
I don't. Yeah, I
Long
don't get
distance,
that. Yeah.
a long distance rider.
Well, I rode from Portugal to. I go to the Euro Harley Rally every year, and I rode from Portugal to Rome, and then Portugal to Croatia, and Portugal to Slovenia. Now I live in Serbia, and this next year in June, the Harley Rally is in Portugal, so I'm going to ride back over there then.
What kind of bike you got?
So you,
FXDL, lowrider.
Are you married?
I'm
Are you married over there? Or are you just doing the damn thing?
No, I'm just doing the thing.
That's all right. A real
It's a
biker.
lot easier to throw your shit in the car and drive somewhere else when you don't have a lot of people to ask if you want to go or not.
Oh yeah, yeah. That is really cool. Well, we're definitely glad to have you on the show. And thank you for calling in and for listening and calling in. Did you have a comment you wanted to make on the topic?
Well, I've been riding a long time, like 54 years this March I've been riding. And I mean, I've seen a lot of changes. I started off riding when it didn't seem like there were even all the interstates that there are now. And the world's different. I've pulled in places when I've been riding before in little convenience stores in Louisiana, and the owners have told me, "You've gone far enough, young fella. You can't push yourself anymore. I got a cot in the back. Go lay down for a few hours." And I doubt if anything like that happens anymore.
No,
I never hear anything like that.
no.
There was a whole lot of times I'd pull in somewhere and unroll a sleeping bag and sleep on one of the open bays in a gas station. And I don't think there's hardly even gas stations like that anymore.
No. That's real riding, man. That's real riding. Heck, that's I remember those days where you could just pull over and throw a sleeping bag down and that was it. And
You didn't worry about getting shot either.
I was going to say that about the last time I did that, it was on an Indian reservation in Oklahoma, and the reservation police came up and kicked me on the foot and woke me up and basically jumped all over me and told me I had to leave the casino parking lot or whatever. And I told him, I said, "I'm sleepy as hell and I will leave, but I'm going to definitely make a phone call so that if I crash my motorcycle, they sue you." He told me to lay back down and go to sleep.
I've never even had it pushed that far. I've had people wake me before and say, "You're not supposed to be here," like cops, and say, "You're not supposed to be here." And I just told them, "Look, man, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just catching a few hours sleep, and I'll get back on the road." And they said, "Yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Then go ahead, be safe."
Man, those are the days. We have to.
Rather you stay alive than kill yourself.
Well, I think there was a time that people just cared more about other people.
I think so.
That sure don't happen anymore.
You know, I'm fixing to I've been working trying to get a website online, a kind of a travel blog, doing photographic and written things of my travels over here. There's so much history here. There's this was a big Roman area, and there's still Roman coins being found on an old dirt road not far from where I live.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
And what I've really taken a liking to are dolmens.
Hold on just a second, gentlemen. We have another caller calling in. Give me 1 second here.
Call from.
Michael.
To accept, press 1.
Hello?
Hello.
Who do we have here?
Yeah, Michael.
Hello. Give me just a second here. We've got our brother on from Serbia, so you're on with us. You got a few of us online here. So as you were saying, Snake.
I said what I've really gotten interested in over here are dolmens.
What are dolmens?
I love it. Nobody's heard of them. They're these things that are all over the world. Nobody knows who made them. Nobody knows why. And the oldest ones are supposed to be in Western Europe, and they're anywhere from 4,000 to 3,000 years BC.
Dolmens.
They're all over the world. If you want, a really good article about them is in Wikipedia. Dolmen, D-O-L-M-A-N. And I'm going around each country I go through trying to find some and take photographs of them.
So are they like burial mounds or something?
That's most probably what they were, but nobody really knows.
Oh, it seems kind of...
Nobody knows who built them. Nobody knows why.
But they're all over the world.
They're all over the world.
They're interesting. Yeah. Well, when you get that site up, let us know, and we're gonna broadcast it and let everybody know about it, and so you can get your information out.
It should be a few more weeks, but I'll be listening to you. I'll call in every once in a while and let you know what's going on. When I'm on a long trip, if I hear you up, I'll give you a call from the hotel or something, let you know what's going on in the world over here.
Dolmen or cromlech is a type of single-chamber megalithic tomb. Usually consists...
single chamber. Dolmens are not always single chamber. There's an 8-chamber one I found way back on a dirt road on a farm in Portugal.
I see some pictures of these dolmens. They're kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, they are.
Holy moly. Okay. We want to see your dolmen pictures, man. So get that site up, and we're going to go a dolmen hunting. Now that I know they're all over the world, I'm going to go try to find some around here.
Well, good luck to you.
They must have some...
I've searched around the Rio Grande, found a lot of arrowheads and stuff like that. I've traveled most of the U.S. I worked most of the U.S. A couple of years in Alaska. But I'd never heard of them until I got over here.
Well, we appreciate you calling in. We're going to go to our next caller now. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep us in mind when you get your site up so we can tell everybody about it. And good luck dolmen hunting.
I'll keep listening, man, and do something about that call.
Oh, I'm trying. Thank you much. Have a great evening.
Later.
I think he's trying to live that Johnny Cash song. I've been everywhere, man.
Right.
So who do we have on here? Is this Mike or Phil? Who is this?
This is Michael.
Hello, Michael. Where are you calling from?
So, I'm calling from just outside of Austin, Texas. I'm just getting off work. So I had to get off a little early this evening. Shift that morning, night shift. I can't figure out the day or night. But, so it's really interesting, I was kind of watching the chat while I was cleaning up around the shop, and somebody brought up the subject. So, like, the whole topic is behind this Brawl, Brawl. And people, apparently, a lot of times, keep coming up about the Waco. So, here's the thing. A lot of people, I'm not in any way trying to disrespect anyone. I'm not trying to get anyone. I did spend 16 years as a law operator, and I ride, and I'm really big in motorcycle rights and safety courses, stuff that we need as riders as a whole, and protecting our freedom to ride and what we do and our lifestyle. So a lot of things, is first off, Waco is McLennan County. And if we go back a little ways, we can go back to Branch Davidian and what the government did there at that time, and the involvement, it's a whole different long story, but there's always been a history. So this was the start of a lot of moves here in Texas. Texas, for everything everybody talks about, yes, there are some strict laws and stuff, but overall, there's really not a tremendous amount of profiling that goes on with those. I know guys that are police officers on the Brewster ride, and it's pretty well, I gotta say, it's not got as bad as it has in some states. But the thing to remember here is that with this changing of this, and I think I made a comment earlier about millennials and not understanding a brotherhood, a camaraderie-ship, that's what's going to have to change. I mean, there's no longer that lifestyle that you were talking about. We're not just not going to be able to do it anymore. I mean, you can, but it's going to have to be an isolated area. It's going to have to change. You're going to have to be more public aware. People are going to have to, the clubs are going to have to start being more proactive, letting people know, and not just what the government's going to define you as or who you are. I'm losing it.
I think so. But how do we get people the message? How do we get people to be more proactive? How do we get people to start using their noggins? We can't even get people to attend MSO events or support MSROs. So there's a lot of work to do. Hello? Did we lose him? I think we lost him.
Call from
Michael.
Michael, you still there?
We lost him. We got him back now.
Sorry about that. So the thing is there's different ways to do it. The first thing is through education. There's this hype. You've touched on some of the videos that I've watched and some of the YouTube, and it's like, people have got this stereotype. They see someone pull up, they've got a patch, and they've got a cut, and they automatically want to step back, and it's this type of stereotype that the Justice Department and stuff are building this stereotyping behind. These are people who are criminal activity. They don't see the fact that, hey, just because this person may wear a color or a cut or something, is an everyday working dad or mom, whatever. And it's somewhere along the way, they've managed to manipulate that and create this stereotype. And the only way to do that is start being more proactive. Let's say, why can't a group or a club or an
have, there's all kinds of stuff in things. For some reason, I'm not sure why, there seems to be a lot of turnover of changes in text as far as having actual motorcycle organizations, groups that actually stand for motorcycles' rights. We've had several, and some of them are still operational, some are not. And the big thing I think is starting with is being the education part about start teaching people a little bit, hey, this is, I'm not saying you release anything or all information about your club or your organization, but, tell them what it's about. Teach them about camaraderie, brotherhood. Some of these groups go back to from after the war. I mean, there's a long line of history here. This is not just, okay, the SOA or some little, Hollywood made-up thing. These are groups that they went through trial by fire. And now that the government's doing this, the only way to beat this is you're going to have to get in front of them and say, okay, look, this is not who we are. This is who we are. We're moms, we're dads, we're uncles, we're brothers, we're grandfathers. This is who we are. And change society, the public's perception of who motorcyclists are, whether you're a group or organization. Because we all know that this is only the start. It's going to eventually go from clubs and organizations to cut anybody that rides. So the key here is to get in front of them. There was an interesting issue that was brought up as we were debating this at work, and that is the U.S. Justice Department and the government and everything are defining what they define as a cut, a color, or a patch, and an item which is stitched onto clothing. And I made this comment earlier that is, so if that's the case, and we go by the true definition of a color or a patch or a stitch or insignia or whatever terminology that you want to use and the government wants to use, then this is going to have to apply to everyone in every organization, not just motorcycles. In the case in San Antonio, which is Bexar County, it's pronounced Bexar, they just had their 18th sheriff deputy arrested. Everything from sexual assault to theft to assault of bodily injury. So if you want to get technical, that insignia on that uniform, that patch, that color would fall under the true definition of what the government claims as an insignia or patch. If you try to put a distinction between the two, you now have the issue of a judicial biasness or discrimination based on the color of law. Now we have constitutional issues. And this is all going to eventually come up, and these are going to be issues that, in appeal processes, and as this continues to develop further down the line, but the big issue is what do we do to be proactive to prevent that or have to go that far in the state until that time works out? Because, what I do is most states, the average timeline for an appeal process is a minimum of 4 years. That means the law enforcement and government are going to have an extremely open, giant leeway for the next 4 to 10 years or 5 years or whatever, minimum 4 years, to pretty much have open reign how they're going to conduct and how they're going to want to do this.
Right.
And we're either going to need to get ahead of it, or by education and being open with it, or we're going to be in the rears trying to catch up.
Right. Well, you make some outstanding points. I believe you're right, and getting ahead of it needs to be where we're pointed, because if not, like I say, we're going to go the way of the dodo bird. Well, we have now surpassed. We're at almost 2 hours, so I think this is a good time to cut it off. Mike, thank you for calling in, and hopefully we see you Monday or next Friday on the Motorcycle Chaos, the Dragon's Lair, on this podcast. And also, we just appreciate having you. Thanks for watching the videos, and thanks for calling in and checking in with us. We appreciate it, and definitely thank you so much for calling in, and have a great night.
Let's hope that next time we get a lot of callers in. Love to hear from our listeners.
So, I've struggled through this thing with this cold long enough. We're going to call it quits now at 2 hours. So, goodness. The Dragon's Lair. Motorcycle Chaos, the podcast. This is our 6th episode. We're off to a running start in the new year. I thought I was over my cold, and I'm not, but I thank you for tuning in. We are going to be doing this again, and also I want you to listen to my buddy who is on tomorrow on Spreaker and iHeartRadio, Insane Throttle, and that's Motorcycle Madhouse, and he's got a show lined up for you, so you guys check him out tomorrow. My books, Black Dragons books, the Sergeant at Arms Bible, the Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs, and the Public Relations Officers Bible are all available on Kindle, and you can get printed books from Amazon, and you can go to any bookstore and order them. And again, look for our podcast on iHeartRadio in about a week or so on iHeartRadio, but Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, all of those shows, all of those places you can get us, iTunes, and even SoundCloud. So we want to thank you for tuning in. We want to thank you for hanging out with us. I've dropped my, I've coughed my my mouse away, so having a hard time turning everything off.
A lot of people in Mama Rose say take some whiskey and honey.
Yeah. Whiskey and honey, we'll do that. We thank you for tuning in. We thank you for hanging out with us. We just went over 27,000 subscribers, which for me is very cool. I never thought it would be anything like this, so very thankful. Please like our channel, thumbs up our channel, share our channel, like this video, share this video. Go over to Spreaker, download this podcast, share this podcast. Thanks for tuning in. That's my 2 cents. Let's hear yours in the comment section if you haven't already commented. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny.